Good morning, dear students of class 12. Welcome to the English online learning class. Today we are going to revise the first poem, My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. This is a brief background of the poet. 1934 to 2009, was born in Malabar, Kerala, and she is recognized as one of the India's foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality, versatility, and indigenous flavor of the soil, typical flavor of the soil, the Indian background. Kamala Das has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name Madhavi Kutty. Some of her works in English include the novel Alphabet of Lust, 1977, a collection of short stories, Padmavati the Harlot, and Other Stories, 1992, in addition to 5 books on poetry. So she is a versatile writer. She has written poems and also collection of short stories. She is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtleties of human relationships in lyrical idiom. And this poem, My Mother at 66, is a very apt example. How she has in this poem portrayed the complex subtleties of human relationships. Now, before we read this poem, enjoy this poem, students, aging is a natural process. And when it comes to aging, we are forced to think what our elderly parents expect from us. What do they want from us? Students, at this stage of your life, probably the expectation of your parents is that you study hard and you achieve something in your life. But then, as age progresses, they have certain expectations from you also. Now, let us look into this poem, what the poet Kamala Das has tried to portray in this poem, My Mother at 66. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. Doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. But soon put that thought away and looked at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at a van pale as a winter's moon and felt that old familiar ache. My childhood's fear, but all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. So let us look into this poem again and try to understand what the poet has tried to convey through this beautiful poem. The poem is full of feelings, full of emotions, and in a very simple language. If you see, the poem is not divided into stanzas. and that is why I read it in continuity, without a full stop, without a punctuation mark. Now, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. Now the poetess is returning back from her parents' place to Cochin one Friday morning, and her mother is beside her. And as she watches her, she realizes that her mother looks old and pale. Her mother has dozed off, and her mouth remains open. The face has an ashen look, ash-colored look, and it reminds the poet of a corpse. The thought pains, and the poetess, she quickly drives these ugly, sad, agonizing thoughts away. But soon put that thought away. What does she do? And looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. So the poetess tries to distract her mind from these unpleasant thoughts. And she looks out of the car and she sees the young green trees outside. They seem to be moving at a fast pace. Actually, the trees are not sprinting, the car is moving. But it appears as if the young trees, green trees, they are moving, they are sprinting, running at a fast pace. She also looks at the happy faces of children who are rushing out of their homes, spilling out of their homes. Now here, the young trees and happy children, they present a welcome change to the poetess. Their joyousness and vitality, they are a contrast to the aging visage of her old mother. So it comforts the poet for a while. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her wan pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. On reaching the airport after the security check, she again stands close to her mother and looks at her mother again. Her colorless and pale countenance, appearance on face, reminds the poetess that her mother is very old and weak. Now she can't help comparing her mother to a fading, dying, colorless moon, winter's moon. And as she does so, she feels a dull pain inside her. In fact, this is not a new feeling. Ever since her childhood, she had feared losing her mother. And that is why she calls this a familiar ache, a pain which is familiar to her, which is known to her, the pain of losing her mother, and which has bothered her since her child. And that is why she calls it as her childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. But she could not let her know what she is feeling inside. How could she? And as she stands there, she puts up a brave front, a put on smile. She tries to hide her fears behind her artificial put on smile. And with a brave front, puts up a bright smile on her face and gives her mother an assurance that she hopes to see her soon. See you soon, Amma. And finally bids goodbye with a smile, smile, and smile. Here the smile has been repeated 3 times. Probably through this smile, the poetess is hiding her fears. She's putting up a brave front. Probably the mother is also feeling the same fear of being separated from her daughter due to old age. Probably she fears she'll not be able to see her daughter again. And the daughter also has the same fear. But they both put up a brave front. Here, only the daughter's aspect has been reflected because the daughter is sharing her feelings to this poem. Probably mother also undergoes the same. And the daughter puts up a brave front, put on smile, artificial smile, and an assurance to her mother that nothing is going to happen to her. She is going to return soon. See you soon, Amma. And she bids goodbye to her mother. We stop here. We have revised this poem. Now, if you have any doubts, you can post them in your WhatsApp group or Google Classroom. And students, write down the main points of this book in your English notebooks. So, we have revised this poem today, and tomorrow we are going to take up the literary devices of this poem. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care.